I remembered some of you suggested gubne chicken. So I was like, okay, there's a gubne on Hongdae, right? How weird can a chicken shop be? Big mistake. So I go in and then, of course, looking the way I do, Koreans just assume I'm Korean. So it starts off like, oh, 여보세요. I'm like, ah, 여보세요. And he starts talking in Korean and I was like, oh, sorry. I don't speak Korean. Is English okay? And he's like, oh, okay. And he speaks English and he says, we are having a special event. And I was like, oh no. I slowly realized I was unlocking an unskippable cutscene or some sort of unskippable mini game or something. So he goes, okay, like, we're having an event at the store. If you scan this QR code and follow us and do these challenges, you can get some free food. And me not wanting to be like, I don't want to do your event. I'm like, oh, okay. So I follow their Instagram, right? And then he's like, okay, now stand on this box. And I was like, okay. And I'm standing on a box, right? It's the front of the restaurant, so everybody's there, right? Okay, so I'm standing on this fucking box. All right, sorry, excuse my language. And the guy was like, all right, I need you to touch your toes. And I was like, okay. So I like touch my toes, a flexibility test. And he's like, okay, you pass. I was like, okay, next challenge. And he takes out a balance board, like in front of the... At this point, I was losing my mind. I was like having a butchy moment, like, oh, I just wanted some fucking food. Oh, I just wanted some food. Yeah. And so he's like, all right, you gotta balance on this balancing board for like 20 seconds. And I was like, okay. So I'm like T-posing in front of this restaurant. I balance for 20 seconds. He's like, okay, you pass. And I was like, I'm losing my mind. And he's like, last challenge, grip strength. And he takes out this little grip strength machine. And so I'm like squeezing as hard as my little hands can do on this like machine. And you have to do 25 kgs of pressure to pass. So I was like squeezing with all my might, just losing my mind. And I made it past 26. And then they give me this, they're like, congratulations, you passed. And they give me this like little card. Go up to the cash register and they'll give you a snack. I was already so tired. I was like, oh my God. How could me trying to order food go so terribly wrong? Like, I did all the challenges. I might as well check out the rest of the building. So I went upstairs and there was like a bunch of people seated and there was an open busking area. And there was a guy that was busking and there was an audience. So I sat in the audience. And remember what I said about me having crazy, like unexpected, pretty privilege here in Korea? Like insane, actually insane. I will talk more about that later. But of course, I got noticed in the crowd. And so they were first pointed me out and tried to invite me up. But I didn't understand they were trying to do that. They were really confused, right? Because they thought I was Korean, right? So I was like suddenly, oh, I don't speak, are you talking to me? I don't speak Korean. And they're like, oh, they're like, can you sing? And I'm like, yes. I couldn't pass the opportunity. So I sang Loving You by Minnie Riperton. And it went way better than they thought it did. They asked if I was a singer, like an actual singer. And I said, no, but I do singing for my job. So yeah, and then I did an encore because they really, really liked it. And then after that, I got asked out 4 times in a row. I was so overstimulated. One of the guys got down on one knee with a chicken and like they wrapped one of their chicken drumsticks in one of the plastic gloves so my hands don't get dirty. Got down on one knee and says, I really like you. It was cute though. It was really cute. I was like, is this real right now? I was like, this is like a fever dream. What the hell? Cause like, okay, guys, when I was younger, I knew I was, because obviously I did some modeling, so I knew I was pretty when I was younger, but for the last like decade, I have never, ever experienced anything like that, ever, like ever. Because I've gotten older, you know, and like there was a lot that happened. So I never ever get attention like that, especially for the last decade. So it was like, it was insane. It was insane. But I had to turn them down. I like made a little excuse. I was like, oh, they're asking me for my Instagram and stuff. And I was like, oh no, my company doesn't allow that. My company controls my social media. But they were so nice. They were so nice. It was so sweet. Yeah. And then I was already like overstimulated by that point. I was like, I gotta go home. I gotta go home. But I have a nail appointment. So in the area, I was like, oh shit. So like I had to go walk down the road again. Got asked out 2 more times on the way. They were like, excuse me in Korean. Like, oh, 너무 예쁘세요. Can I have your Kakao Talk? And I was like, what? What's happening? What's going on? I heard 너무 예쁘세요 so many times yesterday. I was like, what the heck? What the fuck is going on? I never get this much attention in the US. It's crazy. And I was like, okay, I'm done. Like this is like, it's getting at night. Like it's at night. I need to go home. I don't think Hongdae is super safe. I need life to return to normal. This is not reality right now. Yeah, so on the way to the station, asked out 2 more times. 2 more times. Oh my god. I was like, is this an isekai? This is crazy. I must be living in one of my like teenage like woman dreams. If I was teenage Sheena, I'd be like so into it. But oh my god. I don't think I'm socially adept enough to handle this. It was like 8 times total that night. And then I went home and I just laid in bed and like hugged Sad B. So I'm really tired today. I think I'm just so tired.